What's your favorite scary movie?
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Here's Johnny.
I see dead people.
For Christ compels you!
It's alive! It's alive!
Who's in the box? What's in the box?
All for you!
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
You slow soul!
And we're back. We're the Dudes of Horror. I'm Toots.
Foreign Boy.
Damien.
What's up, guys? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. We've been busy and you know, Thanksgiving and all that, which is which later on we'll get into a Thanksgiving movie. Oh yeah, we'll get to that. So we have a few reviews today. The first ones we're gonna do is from Brent and Lauren. It's a short film called Labor Day, and basically, the way to describe it, it has a very 70s feel to it, and what you mentioned, Damien, before, that it has a very like Quentin Tarantino kind of vibe to it.
The opening is very Quentin Tarantino. Mm-hmm. The title text and the grainy film that they used, and the music too, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the music kind of takes me back to that.
I was like, wow, this is like the opening of a Quentin Tarantino movie. But yeah, what's the synopsis though?
Well, essentially it's they're having Labor Day, of course, weekend, and then
it's like a cookout.
You see, I'm assuming because he's the husband and she's the wife, he's cooking out and she's enjoying their time in the pool. So it comes to a point where she sees a snorkel and she puts it on, but when she puts it on, she kind of starts to see black and white. And then she kind of like, she's trying it out. She's like, what's going on? Like, and then she eventually sees like this, I guess like this figure, demon, or you can call it.
It's like a hooded figure.
Yeah, and she like, okay, so she tosses him over a fence, mm-hmm. And then you see them reappear in the pool again, but this time the husband's the one that puts him on, and he starts seeing stuff, and he's like, oh, this is awesome, like kind of cool, and she's like, no, like take him off, like.
She's trying to warn him about the demon, or.
Yeah,
the monster.
The monster or the demon, whatever you want to call it, and then that's when it pretty much ends.
Yeah, so it's assumed that once the husband puts on the snorkel and is like, yeah. The demon comes up from behind, like over his shoulder, and, mm-hmm. and presumably kills him.
Yeah.
Or kills them. So that's pretty much the gist of the short movie.
Yeah.
But it took me back to like all those, like what we were talking about, like the parallel dimensions type of things, like Twilight Zone. And
yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Like. And then you were mentioning They Live.
Yeah. To me, when I saw her put on the snorkel, because the snorkel just appears out of nowhere. It's in the pool, but nobody threw it in there, and then she barely spots it, and so even the girl in the movie is kind of, where did this come from? And she just puts it on, and when she puts it on, everything turns black and white, and she sees like her husband like murdered. On the side of the pool and stuff like that. And she takes it off and everything's normal. So the one thing that popped into my head was They Live. And if you're familiar with that movie, and I consider it a classic movie, a John Carpenter film, and basically when Roddy Piper's character, John, puts on those sunglasses, like he sees everything in black and white, and he sees basically like this alternate version of the world. Where he sees, basically everything's like under mind control. And then he sees these aliens, amongst the humans. So that was the one, but in this case, in the short film, it's very horror based, and like you said, it's very like Twilight Zone-esque.
Yeah, and like Damien mentioned it right now, so like, yeah, like it just, reminds me of one of those episodes, mm-hmm. Kind of creepy, you don't really know what's going on, and then you kind of try to figure it out, but you can't really figure it out completely.
Yeah.
Because to me, it kind of leaves it open a little bit at the end, because I'm like, does he get killed? Does she get killed too? Or, You know, so I was just like,
Or is she seeing a possible future when she looks through the goggles?
yeah, that's also possible. So
But it's just that, like, I've seen that a lot, like in like you said, like Twilight Zone and even like Goosebumps.
yeah, which
like
is the
it's
one
weird.
that you told me, Damien, that you were reminding
Yeah,
me.
the say cheese and die, like where they take a picture. But then there's a Twilight Zone like that too. Like they take a picture with a camera and then they see like the same person they took a picture of, but they see them like in some kind of like violent situation or like even dead.
Yeah.
And they have to try to prevent that from happening. Like it just made me think of like all those old science fiction horror like themes like similar to that.
Yeah, the episode is called A Most Unusual Camera. And it was kind of like that, where you put something on, or in this case it was a camera, you take a picture and you see basically a few moments into the future. So you see this, you see this snapshot and you're like, okay, well, what's going to happen here? Like, oh, I see an open window. What does that mean?
Yeah.
And I really like the way it was shot. You know, it looks very professional. Like for them to be freelancers or whatever you want to call them, they did a pretty good job on the editing, and the video quality looks good. The way they shot it, and those like you said, Damien, the M. Night Shyamalan at the end kind of views.
Yeah, I wanted to mention
camera.
that, like their other editing, like even the sound editing, like when she raises the goggles off of her face and you start hearing like that happy Labor Day music again, like, and the color fades back in, like they're very good at like technical aspects. So like, and like we said, the Violet review, like they're very good at storytelling with no dialogue.
Yeah.
Which is difficult.
Yeah, everything's through the eyes, everything's through the expressions on their faces, their body language. And, so especially once it comes to the point where she's putting on the snorkel and realizes what's happening, and then the husband puts it on and she's kind of like, no,
Yeah.
So everything's done through just all those actions. Like, I don't remember any dialogue in it.
There is none.
Yeah, there's no dialogue.
The music's the only thing, but it's not dialogue. It's just background noise.
Yeah, and another reason it's very Twilight Zone-esque is because this happens, and it's never explained why it happens. It just does.
It just happens.
Yeah, it just happens. Which is basically almost virtually every Twilight Zone episode where someone's just kind of thrown in the situation.
Yeah.
And then
you almost hear Rod Serling.
Brent
and Lauren are about to be catapulted into the darkest corner of
the Twilight Zone.
The Twilight Zone.
A most unusual snorkel, So yeah, but I really enjoyed this short movie. Like I said, the acting was great. It was all done without dialogue, and you pretty much get the gist of it. Once the snorkel appears, you can I could kind of sense what was gonna happen. Like, oh, something's gonna happen when she puts it on, but you didn't know what until she actually does it. And you're like, oh wow, cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. It was well done.
I've always been fascinated by those things. Like even like Stranger Things, like the Upside Down, where it's like a parallel universe of Hawkins. Like it's all those things like come to my mind when I see this short film. Like, and it's very different from Violet, the other short film that we did from them.
Yeah.
So it's like where Violet was more like a snuff film almost. Like this is a very different style from the same filmmakers. So like if you do want to check them out, like they do very awesome like horror short films. Brent and Lauren on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like I recommend them. Like I'm glad that they reached out to us and asked us to review their short films because I really enjoy them.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, it's such a stark contrast to the first one we saw, because the first one we saw, shit was gonna happen right away. Shit hit the fan. Like as soon as you saw how the Lauren character, or how her character, and that one was just like, oh, you can tell. Like
it was intense and foreboding from the very beginning.
Yeah,
and this one starts very like Labor Day. This story
it's very happy.
Happy
very
Sunday
happy
afternoon type of vibe.
Yeah, and then it starts getting intense, and then shit hits the fan like right in the middle of it, and it just crescendos, you know, up until the end where it just climaxes. Yeah.
Oh, and you said, Wormwood, you said that the demon looked like
Oh yeah,
supermodel music.
well, and that goes to our next short film that we just saw, and I don't know if you guys know. I don't know, maybe it's just me. It has a similar kind of feel to it, like The Mask or whatever the person's wearing.
Yeah, it did kind of.
I was like, in my head, I was like, hey, that's Basement Ben, man.
Yeah.
Maybe they're working together all this time, right?
Yeah. They're pulling one over
Basement
on us.
Ben likes Labor Day too.
Who doesn't, right? No, but then going to the Basement Ben, now that we reviewed Brenton Lawrence film,
Yeah.
I think that one, the latest one was done 3 weeks ago, I believe. And this is by Supermodel Music Man, and you know, he knows who we are. But the thing is, with that one, it's more like leaving it open, like, is it the end of Basement Man? Is it the beginning? Or, you know, what is it?
Yeah.
What did you guys think? Because
Because it actually is titled Basement Ben, the beginning or the end?
Yeah.
Question mark.
Yeah.
Like it's a question. What I got from it very simply was that all the short films in the little Basement Ben universe, like it's a big loop. Like the character is in a loop. The character that's investigating what happened in the museum or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like he's actually caught in a loop and he's unaware of it.
Yeah.
Like that's what I got from it, but you guys, I know you guys had other theories.
I had the similar, you know, I think it's
me too.
that not Basement Ben, but the character that plays, I don't know if he has a name, but
Isn't it Udo Bermudo?
Bermudo. Yeah, I believe he's a ghost and he's just going through this and you know it's in a loop as well. I believe that too.
Yeah. So.
But he's a ghost though, for the way I see it.
Yeah. So it's. Yeah. So the title of it is the beginning or the end, and yeah, like I feel the same way where it's both, where it's
the beginning and the end.
Yeah, it's beginning and the end. And like I said, it's open. It's very open to interpretation whether you want to consider it the beginning or the end. We pretty much agree that it's pretty much both.
Yeah, because if you see the other ones, you can kind of put them all together and kind of make sense of it. And this one, you see him going back into the museum, and that's where it starts. The first one, right?
Yeah.
And that's when he starts to go to become Basement Ben, and now he's going like a loop, pretty much.
Yeah, and there is a shot where you see the main character Udo go into a bathroom, and in the bathtub there's blood, or what appears to be blood, and then you see like a reflection, well not so much a reflection, it's more like you just see kind of an image appear of Basement Ben, underwater, like the demon, and then it disappears, and then you see Udo basically not leave his house, you just see him leave the room, and then you see him approaching the museum, just like in the first one.
And then throughout the whole film, the short film, you don't hear any voices again. Like it's the same,
no dialogue,
it's the same formula. But like I was like, I kind of hoping I hear the song, and I did hear it.
At the end.
You know that it's like a part of it now. You know, so like when I heard it, I was like, hey, you know, yeah.
Yeah, and what I was thinking is, what if, because since, you know, in our interpretation that he may be a ghost and he's just reliving everything again in a loop, what if maybe he killed himself or something happened where maybe he kind of sees himself as Basement Ben there, and so he's kind of going in through a loop, so maybe that's how he died.
That's what I was thinking. Like I'm thinking something along those lines, like it turns out that character you've been following through all the short films is actually the ghost that's going through like a loop of, like they're reliving their own death or something, or a death that they were involved in or something like that. I don't know. Or it's very artsy.
Or who knows? Maybe he's reliving it again, kind of like Happy Death Day. Maybe he died a different way. Because if I remember correctly,
I mean you can do so much with it.
Yeah, because if I remember in the first one, like he does have like a heart attack or something. Like he dies there and then he comes back.
Yeah, and then he goes somewhere in the the wall. I remember he gets like I forget what he gets from that little place in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember it that well, but I know it seems like a loop.
So who knows? Maybe.
So kudos to you, Supermodel Music Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys are watching this, make sure you follow him on YouTube.
Yeah, and Supermodel Music Man, just reach out to us. Let us know.
If you can give us any spoilers.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
Or any hints, maybe.
Yeah.
I actually want to know what's really going on.
Yeah, and just let us know. Where we like spot on, or you can let us know. Oh, I was going a different way. Just let us know how close or not close we are in terms of our conclusions.
Were we even in the neighborhood?
Yeah, in the same.
I can always already imagine him saying like, "Oh well, this is just the beginning." It's like no.
This is just the start. You gotta wait through.
There's another part to this.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Supermodel Music Man. That's another one. That's our German connection.
Yeah.
That's what I like to say.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, follow him, guys, on YouTube. He's got good taste, and he's got a good talent with video.
He's a very artsy, wacky filmmaker that makes some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're into like horror shorts, that's another one that's like
abstract things. And like I said, Supermodel Music Man, let us know, were we far off, were we close?
Yeah, leave a comment.
Yeah.
And then from there, I mean, one of the ones I'm looking forward to do also. I mean, all of them are great, but one of the ones we saw during Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, going on to another review.
Was called Thankskilling. If you guys have seen it. I was the title itself. I was like, okay, maybe it's gonna be good. Someone's gonna be killing. I didn't expect it to be a fucking turkey.
Oh my god!
Like it's one of those where as soon as you're like on Amazon Prime or wherever you see it, whether it's on DVD, Blu-ray, Amazon Prime. Once you see the cover, the title cover, you're like, oh my god, this is
horrible.
Yeah, this looks like a piece of shit. But in my opinion, it was. I really enjoyed this piece of shit.
I enjoyed it too. It was funny. It was funny.
It's one of those movies, like I was saying while we were watching it, like the filmmakers had to be aware of what they were making. Yeah. Like they couldn't have been seriously trying to make like a legitimate horror movie.
I don't think so.
Yeah, this was, in my opinion, was awesomely bad.
Yeah.
It was so awesomely bad.
This is the definition of awesomely bad.
Straight from the beginning, he curses like nobody's business, and every time he would come out the turkey, he would say something like a catchphrase or something funny, and then he would kill you.
I was saying like I don't want you to steal it from me.
All right.
Like I was saying like the turkey reminded me of Triumph the Insult Dog.
Oh yeah.
Like he acted like it, and it looked like he was even made out of the same material, and it actually looked like it was actually.
It wasn't the same accent. It wasn't the same accent.
No, it actually looked like it was like made out of the same material, and it was actually literally a hand puppet that somebody was operating with their hand, like right out of frame. Like it was that cheap.
Yeah, and it was cliched in terms of the characters, but I think they purposely did it that way. Yeah, they purposely did it.
It's like any one of those, like the teen slasher movies you can think of, like they go down the list of all the stereotypes. Like they have the jock, they have the pothead, they have the slut chick, the
goody two-shoes.
The goody two-shoe virgin, the very chaste one, like, and they're going camping or something, like.
Yeah.
And they discover the legend of the killer turkey. I don't even know.
Yeah, it was a legend that I forgot his name, but it doesn't matter.
It follows.
But he starts to kind of scare them because there's a supposed legend that there's a killer turkey that comes out every so often or something. I forgot how many years.
From what I remember, it was something to the effect of, when the Pilgrims came over. And we're slaughtering the Native Americans like after Thanksgiving.
Turkeys got pissed and they had to fight back. And I was like, what?
It was like the Native American chief like cursed basically the white folk, where it was just like, okay, from this point on, there's gonna be this demon turkey that's gonna hunt down, anybody that gets into like
in his land.
where they're on his land or something like that.
That doesn't sound bad, right?
Yeah, and
but it's horrible.
I'm not trying to be racist or anything when I said white folk. Like, no, they mentioned something like that in the movie.
Yeah, they use racist terms in it too,
like,
as well.
See, and that was the other thing. Like, supposedly
like the white man.
Supposedly, this demon turkey is like 400 years old. Or
He's
something.
racist.
Yeah, it was something. Like,
but his lingo is like modern day. Like,
yeah.
He swears and like uses slang like he's from
right
modern
now.
days.
Yeah, it's like yo bitch,
yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah,
it's like if he was 400, would he? I don't know. Like I'm trying.
It doesn't make sense.
No. But I'm saying like I'm trying to critique this movie, and this movie's like it's ridiculous. Like there's no,
it's so ridiculous. Like it's
funny as hell. Like I really enjoyed it because it was funny.
Yeah, this is one of those.
It's not serious. You can't take it seriously.
This is one of those movies I was talking about. Like it is fun as it's entertaining as hell to watch in a group.
Yeah,
definitely. Just to like slam the hell out of it. Like this is the prime example of what I was talking about. Like,
yeah, and of course the turkey has to have fucking puns, like turkey-based puns.
Yeah.
Didn't the turkey say something when he like I swear this happens? There was one scene. There was one scene where this guy actually stops to pick up the turkey, like in his car, like just and it's like, well, you gotta pay the toll or something.
Oh yeah, that was gross.
So basically he's trying to get the turkey, this evil turkey, to blow him, so the turkey can get a ride, and of course the turkey ends up killing him. But I remember the slutty girl, like she's being fucked by this guy. And then the turkey kills the guy and takes over. I swear he takes over.
And she never notices.
She doesn't notice until the end. And then doesn't he say something effective like now who's getting stuffed or something like that?
Yeah.
And you were mentioning that it makes when we were watching the movie that it made you think of
Teen Wolf?
Arnold's Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Like
all the puns.
What killed the dinosaurs?
The Ice Age. Yeah.
Like
and I think that's where you got maybe the connection to insult also, because you know how he has all those jokes.
But I mean, what made me think of him also is like not that also that specifically.
It's so much the puppet itself.
And it looked like he was made of the same material. And he's like a hand puppet, like when he with all the.
It reminded me of Ninja Turtles, to be honest, Part 3, with the puppets. What's his name? Master Splinter.
Oh yeah.
So that's the connection I made in my head. I was like, man, that's a horrible piece of shit.
And I like the fact that during the movie when the friends are getting killed, nobody calls the police, nobody calls an ambulance. They're dead. They're like, oh, that sucks.
And they just leave it behind, like
whatever. They just leave the body
behind.
And
then there's one part where one of the kids' dad or stepdad or something has a collection of books.
Guns. Books.
Yeah.
And they're just like, maybe he has a book on how to defeat the turkey.
And he does.
Yeah.
And then the
conveniently
book's
does.
there.
You have to say some Latin words or I don't know, in backwards or something, and you have to say it so often, and that's how you kill him.
Yeah, and then
he at the very end, he still doesn't die. You still see it, they leave it open, right? Where like he's still alive, right? Or is it just me?
There are two sequels.
Because he gets into this weird, what is it?
Like toxic waste.
Toxic waste, and like he's still alive now, and oh god.
I like the fact that they go to the virgin girl or whatever, like the goody two shoes, like her father is the sheriff or something like that, and it's Turkey Day, so he dresses up like a turkey. Invites the turkey in, realizing doesn't realize it's an evil turkey.
He thinks it's just like
a little person,
a little kid. Like, oh yeah, come on.
Like a little kid.
She's in her room.
Yeah, like a little kid or a little person.
Drink? Like, no, thank you, I'm good.
Yeah. And then the turkey, I'm gonna fucking kill you. What was that? Like, oh no,
nothing.
And I love how like he kills her dad and then Leatherface style
Yeah.
Yeah.
cuts his face off and puts it on his face. So now there's this little turkey.
And then the kids.
The kids
Like
come
fucking
to the
Silence of the Lambs. Like fucking Silence of the Lambs.
yes, yeah.
The kids come in.
Yeah.
The
Like,
kids
hi,
come to the
Mr.
door, and he opens this a little turkey with the dude's face.
Yeah.
And none of them notice. Like they're all fooled by this.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
oh.
They're like, oh yeah.
For a second, I was really hoping the daughter or somebody would have been like, "Hey, yeah, we'll come in. How's it going? How's it going, Daddy?" And then, dude, what the? It's the fucking turkey. Like I thought they were gonna do that, but no, they completely fall for it.
Yeah, because it's so
And
hard.
they go to the basement or wherever they went to read the books, and of course the
exact book that they were
Yeah.
looking for is convenient there. Like,
Yeah.
and then they're trying to read it, and it looks like fucking algebra. It looks like they just got like a math book. And
I don't
they're just
even
reading
know
that.
if they had anything.
And then and the nerd, of course, is like, "Oh, that's how you interpret all this shit." And I'm like, "That looks like fucking algebra. That looks like trig. That looks like trigonometry."
It probably was.
It looked like something out of a math book. And,
And, the funny thing is that this movie actually made money out of it. Like
to spawn 2 sequels.
Yeah.
This is like all those bad
Ginger Dead Man.
yeah,
Jack
like Ginger
Frost.
Dead Man, like all those bad like.
What was the other one?
horror-
Sleepaway Camp?
No, Sleepaway Camp's
no,
badass.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's not Sleepaway Camp. What were the ones remember we saw?
We saw
something with
what was
Cat-
it? Microwave Massacre or something.
Yeah.
No.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like lately, since all these like streaming services have been coming out, like the apps and like Hulu and Amazon Prime, like there's all these. I noticed there's all these bad horror franchises coming out, like, and there's all these sequels too, like you said, Ginger Dead Man. This is another one, like Thanksgiving needed a horror franchise.
Yeah.
And they have Thankskilling with Triumph the Insult Turkey.
Yeah,
but it's it's.
Yeah, and I remember at one point, I think you were like, "I think that is worse than House of the Dead." Yes, I'm bringing it up again.
God damn it, too.
And then I said,
can't
"No,
do a video without
No, it's not. House of the Dead is not that bad compared to this one.
no.
This is my justification of why this one is slightly worse. Is because, well, actually no, the justification that House of the Dead is worse is because Thanksgiving looks really low budget. It looks like it was made like with $1,000.
It looks like a kid made it.
Yeah, it looks like a bunch of students like at a high school made it, and they just used whatever they could to put it together. But that's understandable. With House of the Dead, they had money, they had a budget, and they just squandered it.
Yeah.
So who's the bigger criminal here? Who's
No, but like.
I still stand by what I said.
I still think it's worse.
I still stand by what I
I
said.
see your point. I see your point. But I like easily like if we're grading Thanksgiving as a horror movie, it easily gets an F.
It's not a fucking horror movie.
But it's one of those ones like you said, like Teen Wolf 2 or House of the Dead, or it's fun to watch in a group to just like tear the hell out of it. Like just like in a group it's fun to watch. Like, but to watch it by yourself, I do not recommend this movie.
No, don't watch it by yourself. You're gonna get a bit bored.
House of the Dead as a group is still a bit painful. At least with this one, I was like, I got a kick out of it. And like, yeah, and but it was purposefully bad.
Yeah, and then it actually went well with the festivities, the Thanksgiving holiday.
First,
I wasn't expecting it to be this horrible.
Yeah, we were having Thanksgiving dinner and we watched Charlie Brown Thanksgiving and then we watched Thanksgiving. So
very odd combination.
Yeah.
But it worked out.
But I guess to kind of switch the gears, we're gonna talk a little bit more. I guess I see it as a good movie. Not great, but good.
I enjoyed this.
It's more of trying to contrast between a shit movie and like an actual movie that's trying to be serious or is serious. The Meg with
Jason Statham.
And Rainn Wilson.
Rainn Wilson. He actually, I thought he was not gonna be that good because you know he's usually in comedies.
Yeah.
But he did a
This was a
really good
slight
job. Yeah. But I really enjoyed this movie. It had a lot of kind of not puns, but what are they called?
It had a lot of fun action in it.
Yeah.
The Meg is good, and there's like endless homage to
Jaws.
like shark, like mostly Jaws, but like other shark movies that have come along in the past, and it does have a campy vibe, like Piranha 3D, not as extreme as Piranha 3D, but it does have that campy vibe. Like it's not taken too serious. Like it's a fun action movie, like with a giant shark. Like,
Yeah, with Thankskilling, it was a fun movie, but it was a very shitty fun movie. It was, but with the Meg, it was a fun movie, but this movie had money to it.
It was interesting.
And it had obviously a better story to it.
And Jason Statham is a pretty good actor. Statham, sorry. I don't know how to say his name.
It's a megalodon.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's still in my opinion, there were still some cliche moments where Jason Statham's character, he's an expert in the field of diving and stuff like that. And that's at the beginning of the movie he discovers the megalodon, and then something happens where he gets discredited, and then he gets retired or he's basically forced out of the field.
Yeah, because they don't believe him that he saw that.
Yeah, and he let some of his crew die. Not that he let them, it's just that
he had to do that, or everyone was gonna die.
Yeah, so he had to sacrifice some of his men, and you can tell that he didn't want to do it. And but it was that cliche where like he gets discredited, he's like bumming around, he's doing something else, and then the Meg is back, and they need him to come back because he's the only one that has experience. Yeah. So they do that cliche, and they also do where the Rainn Wilson character, who's this millionaire, this billionaire, is funding this project, but he has ulterior motives, and then you can tell he's the asshole. Like after a while, because at first, like he seems like the fun-loving guy, that's rich, but then you start piecing it out. He has an ulterior motive, and then he gets his comeuppance by getting eaten by the Meg.
Those parts were awesome though, when the Meg.
Yeah, they still
when the
work.
Meg ate other people. I mean, I know it sounds cruel, but I enjoyed the way they got killed.
Yeah.
Eaten.
And I love how in the Meg, Pippin the dog survives.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had a feeling that the dog was going to survive this time. And I knew because the way they cut away before the Meg swallows the dog, I was like, oh, Pippin survived.
And then
Sure
Pippin's
enough, it pops back up at the end of the movie swimming.
Yeah.
Pippin's the name of that other dog, right?
In Jaws.
From Jaws.
That gets eaten.
I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if this happened. That originally they probably filmed the dog getting eaten, and then they give it to test audiences, and they were like, "Where's the dog?"
Yeah.
And then they had the shot of like, "Oh, we'll bring the dog back."
Yeah.
But which is fine. I'm glad the dog lived.
One of my favorite scenes though is where they actually do manage to kill the first Meg. And they have it hanging from the ship like Moby Dick.
Yeah.
And the other one, like I already knew, I was like,
the other one comes out.
I already knew, I was like, there's gonna be another one.
It's like it's the mother or something like that.
Like this is way too early in the movie for the Meg to be dead already.
Yeah.
When it jumps out of the water, and like first it swallows the fat guy.
Yeah.
And then it like takes out the other Meg and like capsizes the boat. And then they're all like stranded at sea. Like that was probably my favorite sequence in the movie. That and then the carnage scene at the beach when the Meg.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
That's what reminded me.
I wasn't thinking
Piranha
it was
3D.
gonna kill people there, but it did. Like nothing.
That scene reminded me the most of Piranha 3D. Like where it just got campy and silly, like where he bites when the dude's running in the
In the
ball
ball.
and jumps up and bites it. and deflates it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed this one. Like I said, it's campy, it's fun, it's much better acted than Thankskilling.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm sure Thankskilling, like the crew gave it their all, but it was still.
No, they didn't.
At least maybe they purposely.
I think the
didn't.
turkey gave it its all.
The turkey
Well,
gave it its all.
like the Meg is actually like a serious production
Yeah.
of a campy movie.
Yeah.
Like Thankskilling had to have been like they set out to make a shitty movie. Like it couldn't have been serious. And if it was, those filmmakers need to not quit their day job.
I doubt it. I think they intentionally made it that way.
Yeah. Although the part that really made me laugh in Thankskilling, other than the utter shittiness of it, is the whole sequence where the fat guy, the beer swilling, guy dies, and the nerd's like so sad, and then he's just kind of reliving moments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like this little montage.
Yeah.
All these little happy moments. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten about that.
So I'm gonna miss him.
That was actually funny. Like that was not like, oh, this is bad. It's so funny. Like that was actually funny.
Yeah, and the
Yeah, kudos to them for that.
Yeah, and the way the way the fat guy died is that the turkey kind of rips through him, like fucking Alien or like Predator. Like when you get like the whole abdomen and everything just kind of like goes out, so you see his guts and everything like that. And of course the nerd's just like, you'll make it, and they're trying to,
they're like, no, you're not
trying
gonna
to piece them together.
It was like Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
With,
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, with the guts out.
Yeah, where he's like, I think I'll make it, like, or it says something like that, and his guts hanging out.
He's like,
Yeah.
hold me.
Jay Marshall, or...
Yeah.
But for Meg, what would you give Meg as a grade? I would give it a B.
I would give it
I don't think it's bad enough to get like a C.
I would give it a B minus.
Yeah, I'm B minus to a B. I'll give it in that range. And then Thankskilling.
Thankskilling gets an F. I'm sorry. Even the funny montage.
Yeah, that one, definitely an F for me also.
I mean, like Thankskilling is in the same class as all like the Sharknado movies.
Oh God.
It's like that. It's like they're intentionally stupid.
I'll give Thankskilling a D, just for the fact that it made me laugh at some points how shitty it is. It's like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's just like, it's
awesomely
like
bad.
Yeah, it's awesomely bad.
We should make it a point for next Thanksgiving we watch part 2.
Yeah,
and
it's
then part 3.
so. Because it was so
No.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It might be better.
It would be fun.
Because it was gory, and yeah, it was awesomely bad and offensive that it just made me laugh. I would that would be the reason I would give it a D. Because if I were to like for an F, it would have to be where I'm like, this is shit. Like I would have to feel like upset.
Yeah.
I wasted time from my life to watch it.
Like Batman and Robin.
No. Like I said, watching this in a group is not a waste of time. Like you're gonna have a good, entertaining time.
Mm-hmm.
But it was ironic because today my wife and I watched Bride of Chucky, which is another
It's a good movie.
It's good, but it's another I think intentionally campy horror comedy.
Yeah.
But do you guys remember at the end where the Bride of Chucky births the little Chucky baby?
Yeah,
the little
creepy-looking
Chucky
one.
monster baby.
Yeah.
Okay. This might give you insight of how demented my horror brain is.
Mm-hmm.
I had this idea. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. The scene where the turkey kills the guy. Wait, but don't say it. Don't say it because I see you already.
Right.
You already know where I'm going. Where he kills the guy that's banging the slut, and then he takes over.
God.
Wait. Let me. I was thinking it's gonna be horrific if at the end of this movie, but this movie is bad enough that they might actually do this. if the slut, if the cliche stereotypical slut survives, and at the end of the movie she like births this like half human, half turkey monster thing.
Yeah, that an abomination.
No,
Yeah.
that would be too much work for them.
I was thinking like, is
And
that
then
gonna,
he takes over the dad because he's dead.
but I was thinking
I would be
like,
surprised if they would have been like, oh, we should have thought of that.
I was like, is that gonna happen? And then I was like, no, they're not as sick and twisted as I am. I was
Yeah.
like, but it made me. I was thinking of Bride of Chucky when we watched the movie Thankskilling, and it's just ironic because my wife and I were watching Bride of Chucky earlier today.
You're
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, I'm sick.
Remember, there's
We'll edit this out.
remember
I'm
there's
joking.
remember there's 2 sequels. So who knows if that's gonna happen? Yeah.
Who knows?
I hope I didn't just jinx it.
Oh God.
Who knows? Maybe somebody that's seen the other 2 would have been, no, it doesn't happen. Yeah.
No, thank you for ruining it.
But
Unintentional spoiler alert.
yeah, so with Thankskilling, I would have to give it a D because it made me laugh. It's I don't know. It's like I said, there's no way to describe it. It's like someone that has like diarrhea, but the diarrhea is very colorful. I don't know how to explain it. Where it's so shitty. It's disgusting.
It's like a.
It's disgusting, but then it's funny.
Is it like a chicken truck or? Remember that?
Oh,
A car chasing a chicken or what? A chicken truck crashing, but you don't want to
clown
look.
car crashing into a
There
chicken
you go.
truck.
You don't want to look, but when like
Yeah, it's horrific, but it's funny.
you don't want to
Okay,
look,
like-
but you're still gonna watch.
I recommend Thankskilling if you're watching it in a group.
Mm-hmm.
But to try to watch it alone, you're gonna feel like it's gonna be painful. Like you're gonna be very depressed and uncomfortable and maybe possibly in actual physical pain at the end of the movie.
And probably scared too. No, I'm joking.
Probably scared that I was like, I can't believe I wasted this much time for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would much easy like it would be much easier for me to recommend Brent and Lauren and Supermodel Music Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would give those.
than
That was
Thanksgiving.
way better than Thanksgiving.
Yeah, those
They
I
can
would
probably
give.
they can probably make something better out of it.
Yeah, those 2 movies I would give an A to an A plus. Like I thought they were very well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, with like they hardly have a budget, but everything is so well done. Everything is so well done. So, and then but like I said, it's such a stark contrast to the Meg and Thankskilling. Where the Meg, like I said, it's fun, it has a lot more money and more production value and everything. And Thankskilling, it was fun, but it was so shitty. It was absolutely so shitty.
Shit.
Yes, like a fucking sewer. It was
Diarrhea shit. Diarrhea shit.
yeah.
So I mean, we're back. We're gonna try to bring more material to you guys. As soon as possible. But I think next time I made a comment to Damon earlier in the week that I wanted to review like one of my favorites, American Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's been one of the ones I've been wanting to review.
That movie,
I mean,
yeah.
Maybe we can do something like that, or we'll figure something out.
Yeah,
That movie deserves its own in-depth review. Like that's a great horror comedy, like dark comedy. Like,
yeah, and I remember, and at some point, because before we started recording, we spoke a little bit about, the Labor Day film, and like it reminded me of They Live. I was like, one day we should do that one, like They Live.
Yeah, They Live's another.
We can do
classic.
that one. I mean, that you can like we should do that where we choose. Like you can choose that one. I'll choose American Psycho, and then Damon will choose one of his.
Yeah.
You know what? I was listening to another podcast on YouTube or something where they mentioned that I'm sure you know this already, but this is like off topic kind of.
Yeah.
That Duke Nukem character was based on Roddy Piper's character. Him and like
I didn't
2
know
other like Ash.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Like Duke Nukem was a combination of like 3 characters.
What?
Yeah.
It was like Roddy Piper's character from They Live.
Yeah.
Kyle?
John Nader.
Ash.
And Kyle.
Ash and
The
like
hair?
another, like it was 3 characters. Like,
Yeah. Piper's character was like John Nada.
Piper's
Yeah, that was
Pit.
Maybe it was Guile from Street
I don't
Fighter.
know. The hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was like, I never knew that. Like, I never, even like the lines or some of Duke Nukem's lines are like pulled directly out of They Live.
Yeah.
That's off topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of these days, I don't think you guys are gonna want to sit through it, but fucking Tales from the Hood 2.
Oh, actually, I
Oh, you
mentioned
said-
we
said.
might as well fucking review it. We already did
Yeah.
part 1, and that's our
boy, you
highest film review we have right now.
I'll say this much about it. I still want to see the rest of it because we've seen about half, maybe like an hour's worth of that movie.
I haven't seen half.
Okay, well,
You guys were seeing it. I was just like zoning out to it.
Yeah,
I can't believe, the only thing that I cannot believe about it is it's the exact same filmmakers that made the part 1.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
And the fact
What
that
happened?
the fact that Keith David comes
Part 1
out,
was good.
the fact that
But that's the point I'm making.
Yeah, part 1's classic.
That's the point that I'm making. Like, it's the
And
same
this
as
one's
Rusty
like,
Cundiff and Darren Scott. Like, I'm like, what were they doing this time? Like, I don't know.
and the fact that Keith David comes out, and I was just like, man, he's too good for this movie. He's way too good for this movie.
Money.
It was
Everybody has a
it
price.
was a paycheck movie for him.
Everybody has a price.
Possibly. But yeah, at one point
We should
like,
record that one.
Tales
Yeah.
Review it.
Tales from the Hood 2. Try to watch,
Make
and
my
that
wife watch it with us
it was like,
because she hated it.
oh yeah, like from what I
She didn't wanna
saw, it
watch
was
it.
like, I would say this one was like almost on par, if not on.
Don't say it.
No, not that movie.
Oh.
I was gonna say Creepshow 3
Oh, okay.
because I think Creepshow 3 is more upsetting because I love part 1 and I like part 2. That part 3 just broke my heart. With this one, it was more
Whatever
like
heart you have left.
my dark heart.
No, like, that's what I was thinking
You're
too.
dark.
Like,
Twisted up, right?
that's what I was thinking too. Like Tales from the Hood 2, I got the vibe of like
Milk.
the worst, cheesiest
Nope.
like episodes of Tales from the Crypt.
Season
Like-
6 and 7. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the vibe I
You
get.
guys gotta make this better.
Because I love horror anthologies. Like that's
Yeah.
a guilty pleasure of mine. Like, and I'm I was being entertained watching Tales from the Hood 2 with a group. But I know if I was watching it alone, I would.
Oh,
be
yeah.
like,
It's like
no.
it's almost like watching Teen Wolf 2 by yourself, which I did, and it's painful to sit through. If you watch it as a group,
Screw that.
as long as no one else in the group
Screw that. Movie.
as long as everybody else doesn't mind watching it.
So it's good. For the last time, you're not gonna mention Teen Wolf anymore.
House of the Dead.
You're not gonna mention House of the
I
Dead.
won't mention House of the Dead.
Or what's the other one?
We can't. We
They
cannot.
live.
No,
Alright.
we cannot do a podcast or a video without mentioning those movies because that's your frame of reference for like
Yeah, for
bad, like
everything.
how to gauge how terrible a movie is or how good a movie is.
I'm sure there's
Yeah,
terrible,
it's like-
terrible ones out there.
He has to say like you have to say like
It's supposed to
like
be-
it's not House of the Dead bad or it's not Teen Wolf 2 bad.
Alright.
Like there's no way.
All right,
I'll make a bet.
I'll make you a bet. If you say
All
it
right.
next time, you're gonna give me $5.
All right, fine. I won't. Yeah, from this point on, I will no longer mention that.
That's what
movie.
you said last time.
Bullshit.
All right.
I don't
We
believe
cannot do it. And then because if you don't, one of us will end up doing it.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
like we won't be thinking about it. Like this movie wasn't bad. It wasn't like Teen Wolf 2 bad. Like there's no way. Like it wasn't as bad as House of the Dead.
Because I have two frames of reference. Two main although I do have several, but my two main ones are House of the Dead in terms of shittiness.
There you go. You said it
like,
again. You
it
owe
will-
me $5.
Fuck you! It hasn't started yet. I said next time, and then for a masterpiece, it's like Schindler's List. Yeah, which is another.
We were saying earlier, I was like, he's gonna mention Schindler's
I
List.
know.
No. I didn't use it as a comparison. I just said that's a frame
I
of
said it earlier.
reference.
You're probably gonna say it.
No. I'm just saying as a frame of
You
reference,
said
not
it.
to compare it to something else. I didn't use it in that capacity right
Oh,
now.
okay.
It's a sad movie, man.
I would say like since we review horror movies, my frame of reference for a great movie would be The Exorcist.
Oh hell yeah!
Like this movie isn't as good as The Exorcist. It's not like that caliber. Like that's what I would say.
Yeah, and that's why I say like, oh, it makes this other movie look like
Schindler's
Schindler's
Maybe
List
we
in
can-
terms of like a masterpiece.
We can develop our own scale of which one falls more like pretty good in the middle, and then one so we
Would it be possible to have like a graphic where it has like we have from like shittiness to awesomeness, and like this is where we gauge the movie?
Yes. Our own rating system would be nice.
Yeah, and then we have our own.
We're gonna
like,
have
you
a horror spectrum.
Like the standard,
Like-
becomes systematic,
we're
it
gonna have
becomes
like
standard.
a horror movie spectrum.
Granted, Schindler's List isn't a horror, but it's in terms of a great movie in general, like
Yeah.
that.
Scarface,
but we could-
Scarface would be up there.
Yeah, Scarface would be up there.
Last of the Mohicans.
Yeah, like,
Citizen Kane.
yeah, Citizen
It's
Kane.
the Citizen Kane of horror.
Space Jam would be
Yeah.
like in the bottom.
It's the Space Jam of horror. I don't know.
Or Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. I mean, so many. Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
we're the dudes of horror.
Yeah.
That was our mini reviews. We did a series of mini reviews here. We did a review anthology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Pretty much.
Damien.
Worm Boy.
And Toots.
We'll see you guys next time.